Section 1. Kenya's money. You say, what is the budget policy statement? All right, Kenya, listen up. We're diving into something super important today. It's time to talk about the Budget Policy Statement, or BPS for short. This document is a cornerstone of our financial planning. Think of it as a sneak peek into the government's spending plan for the next 3 years. It's like getting a preview of a movie. But this one affects your daily life. It's not just numbers on a page. It's a detailed plan that outlines where the money will come from and where it will go. This document directly affects your life, your family, your neighborhood, your maratu fare, everything. Imagine the roads you drive on, the schools your children attend, and the hospitals you visit. The BPS lays out how much money the government expects to rake in, and more importantly, how they plan to spend it. It's a roadmap for the nation's financial health. We're talking about everything from building new roads and schools to funding healthcare and supporting small businesses. These are the building blocks of our society. This ain't chump change, people. We're dealing with significant amounts of money that can transform lives. This document isn't just dreamt up in some ivory tower. It's crafted with input from various sectors and stakeholders. It's supposed to reflect the needs and priorities of you, the Kenyan people. Your voice matters in this process. That's why it's crucial for you to understand what the BPS is all about and how you can make your voice heard. Knowledge is power, and in this case, it's also your right. Because let's be honest, if you don't tell the government what you need, who will? Your participation ensures that the BPS truly serves the people. So get involved, stay informed, and make your voice count. Section 2, the crystal ball, peering into Kenya's economic future. Now, before we dive into the nitty-gritty of the budget itself, we need to talk about the economic forecast. This is a crucial step because it sets the stage for everything that follows. Understanding the economic forecast helps us grasp the bigger picture and the context in which the budget is being crafted. This is where things get a little mystic, Meg, but bear with me. The economic forecast isn't just guesswork. It's a detailed analysis based on a multitude of factors. Economists use sophisticated models and historical data to make educated predictions about the future. The BPS looks at where the Kenyan economy is headed. Will it grow? Will it stagnate? Will it spontaneously combust? These are the questions that need answering. The BPS, or Budget Policy Statement, is a critical document that outlines the government's economic priorities and strategies. Economists and financial wizards crunch the numbers, analyzing factors like inflation, unemployment, and global trends. They look at how these elements interact and influence each other. For instance, high inflation can erode purchasing power, while low unemployment can boost consumer spending. They try to predict how much money will be flowing into government coffers over the next few years. Why is this important? Because it helps the government plan its expenditures and investments. Accurate revenue predictions are essential for effective budgeting because it determines how much the government can realistically spend. If the revenue projections are off, it can lead to budget deficits or surpluses, both of which have significant implications for the economy. You can't exactly build a shiny new highway if the economy's in the toilet, can you? Infrastructure projects, social programs, and public services all depend on the health of the economy. A robust economic forecast ensures that the government can make informed decisions and prioritize spending effectively. Section 3, show me the money. Where will the shillings go? Okay, now for the juicy part, the spending plan. The BPS outlines how the government intends to use your hard-earned tax shillings. We're talking education, healthcare, infrastructure, defense, the whole shebang. This section breaks down how much moolah each sector will get and what they are supposed to do with it. Will education get a much-needed boost? Will healthcare finally get the attention it deserves? These are the questions on everyone's minds. Of course, it's not just about how much money is allocated, but how effectively it's spent. That's a whole other kettle of fish, but we'll get to that later. Section 4. Reining in the spending expenditure limits explained. Now, you might think the government can just print money whenever they feel like it, but it doesn't quite work that way. The BPS sets strict spending limits for different parts of the government, like putting them on an allowance, or at least trying to. We're talking about the national government, parliament, yes, even those guys, the judiciary, and the counties. Each gets a slice of the pie, but there's a limit to how much they can gobble up. These limits are crucial for maintaining financial discipline and preventing overspending. Because, let's face it, a government that spends like a teenager with their first credit card is a recipe for disaster. Section 5, Fiscal Responsibility, because nobody likes a broke government. Speaking of financial discipline, the BPS also lays out the government's fiscal responsibility principles. This is basically a fancy way of saying they're trying to be responsible with your money. Shock horror. Debt is a major concern here. The BPS sets limits on how much the government can borrow to avoid drowning in a sea of red ink. Nobody wants to see Kenya go the way of Greece, right? The goal is to ensure that the government lives within its means, just like you and me. Well, maybe not exactly like me, but you get the idea. It's about finding a balance between funding essential services and keeping the national debt in check. Section 6, Danger Zone, identifying potential financial risks. Let's be real, unexpected stuff happens. The economy could tank, a global pandemic could hit again, or maybe locusts will return for a second helping of our crops. The BPS isn't just about sunshine and rainbows, it also includes a fiscal risk statement. This section highlights potential threats to the government's financial plan. Think of it as a financial weather report, warning of potential storms on the horizon. By identifying these risks early on, the government can try to mitigate their impact and keep the economy on track. Section 7, Your Voice Matters, How to Make a Difference. Okay, so we've covered what the BPS is all about, but here's the kicker. It's not set in stone. Before the government finalizes this bad boy, they want to hear from you. That's right, you have the power to shape Kenya's financial future. You can provide feedback on the BPS, share your priorities, and hold the government accountable for how they're spending your money. Think a particular sector deserves more funding? Got ideas on how to improve service delivery? Now's your chance to speak up. Section 8. Get informed, get involved, your guide to participation. In this section, we will walk you through the various ways you can actively participate in shaping the future of your community. Whether you're a seasoned activist or a first-time participant, there's something here for everyone. Now you're probably thinking, John, this all sounds great, but how do I actually participate? Well, the good news is that there are multiple avenues for you to get involved, each tailored to fit different lifestyles and levels of commitment. I'm glad you asked. There are several ways to make your voice heard, and each method is designed to ensure that your input is both valuable and impactful. Read the draft BPS. Knowledge is power, people. The Draft Budget Policy Statement, BPS, is a comprehensive document that outlines the government's financial plans and priorities. By reading it, you gain a deeper understanding of where your tax dollars are going and how they are being allocated. The draft document is available online, and while it might not be as thrilling as the latest episode of Real Housewives of Nairobi, it's essential reading for any concerned citizen. Taking the time to go through it will equip you with the knowledge needed to make informed contributions. Attend public forums. The government will be holding public consultations across the country, giving you a chance to voice your opinions and engage in discussions about the budget. These forums are a great way to meet like-minded individuals and hear different perspectives. Submit your feedback online. Too busy binge-watching your favorite shows to attend a forum? No problem. The government has made it easy for you to participate from the comfort of your home. No worries, you can submit your feedback online through a dedicated portal. This way you can still make your voice heard without having to rearrange your schedule. Just make sure you proofread your comments. Nobody wants to decipher a message full of typos. Clear and concise feedback is crucial for it to be taken seriously and to ensure that your points are understood. Remember, your participation is vital. Every comment, every question, and every suggestion helps shape the policies that affect our daily lives. So get informed, get involved, and make a difference. Section 9, now it's your turn. Speak up for Kenya's future. The 2025 Budget Policy Statement is more than just a dry financial document, it's a roadmap for Kenya's future. By participating in its formulation, you have the opportunity to shape the country's priorities and ensure that your needs are met. So what are you waiting for? Get informed, get involved, and make your voice heard. The future of Kenya is in your hands. Don't let this opportunity pass you by. For further reading and to access the draft document, please visit link to the draft BPS document.